Hello, my soccer universe. The Conference League has me a little bit worried with regard to my collection. With Lask already out, these are the 5 teams that I have jerseys from. And at least Panathinkaikos made it through, I don't want to say by the skin of their teeth, because in the end I think they deserved it. However, they will meet either Rapid or Fiorentina, so I lose another team after the round of 16. And if the draw goes against my wishes, Betis will also face Chelsea. And then we are rather thin. And if I look at the teams that are remaining, I think I really have to wait for the semi-final if I want to get anything. And I hope that Fiorentina and Chelsea, Betis, whatever, are kept a little bit apart, that the finalists are among these 5. Please. But yeah. But enough of me and my collection in this one. Let's talk about the games yesterday. There was quite some drama in them. Panathinkaikos really in the last minute made it through. We had an overtime between Heidenheim and Copenhagen, which was rather dramatic. And we got a penalty shootout in Ireland with the Shamrock Rovers taking on Molde. And then there was also the Cypriot derby that actually was quite emotional as well. Plenty of missed penalties in there too. So, as I did for the Europa League, let's review the games now. Then we'll talk about the situation ahead of the draw. I'm shooting this before the draw. Then we'll look at the draw afterwards. So I pack it in one video together and see where this is all going and what teams I may have to add to my collection. With a 3-goal advantage from the first leg, Betis could easily see out the game against Ghent. They lose 1-0. We're also down to 10 men as Vitor Hoque was sent off for a stamp on an opponent, and he got initially a yellow card, but you could see already in his reaction, I guess this is gonna be a red. The winning goal came through Brown, who already had a big chance before that, but I think overall Betis controlled that game, as I said. Overall deservedly through. The other big name matchup pitted Heidenheim against Copenhagen, and Heidenheim had a 2-1 away win at Copenhagen. However, Giacca already equalized in the 37th minute, and Copenhagen really came out to play. And when Heidenheim gave away a penalty and Dix converts in the 53rd minute, you thought this is only going one way. Heidenheim will not have a way back, and they probably should worry a little bit more about their Bundesliga survival. However, Heidenheim get back, and Sienza with a nice free kick directly into the net equalizes, and then there were actually quite a few chances for Heidenheim to equalize as well. In overtime, even more so, but they just cannot get it done, and then they fall over themselves in overtime as 3 defenders seemingly have the ball safe. However, there's one bad touch, and it goes to the one player that has not a Heidenheim jersey, Huescas, who runs onto goal and puts it into the net. Copenhagen win for the first time ever in Germany. Boris Banaluka came with a 1-0 advantage to Olimpia Ljubljana thanks to a late stoppage time goal, but that was almost about to be wiped out as a penalty is given away already in the 5th minute. And in the 7th minute, Blanco steps up and sees his effort safe. Olimpia Ljubljana really pushing, especially in the first half. However, cannot find the breakthrough, and the game then peters out a little bit as Borac defended valiantly home. A Bosnia team in the round of 16, that is something nearly unheard of. The Cypriot derby between Paphos and Omonia delivered what you would expect. Tons of emotions. Paphos already had plenty of chances in the first half. They take the lead in the 28th minute through Bruno after the Omonia keeper has seemingly the ball safe, but it falls off him and it goes to Bruno into the empty net. Second half, Dragomir scores very early on. However, his goal is disallowed for offside, and then Stefan Jovetic, yes, we've heard about that guy before, gets the equalizer for Omonia. However, just 5 minutes later, Silva hits back and puts Paphos ahead and through to the next round. However, there's no second Cypriot team in the round of 16. Azelia get the 2-0 away win. Kucic, who already scored 2 goals against Apoel in the first leg, opens the scoring just before the halftime break, and Svetlin in the 51st doubles it up and takes all the energy out of Apoel. The Jagiellonia left no doubt of who's the better team between them and TSC Bačka Topola, winning 3-1 at home. Hansen opening score in the 8th minute. Yes, in the 17th, Lazetic equalized by the second half. Their class shines through. Imas and then a Radojevic own goal make it again a 3-1 win for Jagiellonia Białystok. Panathinkaikos had to make up a 2-1 deficit at home in the big Olympic Stadium at a rather sparse crowd. Did not look good, to be honest. And Vikingur actually could have taken the lead, however the angle got too difficult and then the ball was cleared off the line. However, in the second half, they ratcheted up the pressure and then they get the go-ahead goal through Mladenovic on his second try after they were passing circles around the Icelandic defenders. But it seemed like Vikingur will hold out to an overtime period, but late on it's a bad clearance and the Hedge can hammer it home for the 2-0 win in the 95th minute. And the Shamrock Rovers had high spirits going into the return leg against Molde, holding a 1-0 lead. However, after 10 minutes, again, it's a goalkeeping mistake. He has the ball, lets it fall because the defender is also hitting him, and Eikrem puts it into the net from outside of the box. The equalizer for Shamrock was cleared off the line. The game ebbed and flowed. Amundsen in the 93rd minute gets sent off with a second yellow card after wrestling down his opponent, Greco-Roman style. And it goes all the way to penalties, where Green misses the third one. All Molde takers are flawless, and so Molde, after squeaking into the playoffs, now make it just about into the round of 16. So ahead of the draw, let's look at the chances to actually compare it to after the draw as well. Is still Chelsea ahead of Fiorentina, Betis in a very solid third spot, and then Vitoria, Copenhagen, Panathinkaikos have overtaken Rapid as well. Now the draw, as we had for the Europa League and the Champions League, we already know the bracket, at least for the unseeded teams, and we just have to slot the seeded teams into their positions. And as I've already alluded to, we have a potential for Betis meeting Chelsea or Copenhagen, and also Panathinkaikos will face either Fiorentina and Rapid, and then in the middle we could have a Polish derby as well, which I think could be exciting, although I'm not sure the Polish teams will like that one. The final will be played in Poland as well. Unfortunately, my wish came true. The Betis will not face Chelsea in the round of 16. They play against Vitoria, which is also quite an interesting duel. Chelsea have to play Copenhagen, which also sounds kind of fun, but you know, Chelsea will be the huge favorites in that one. From the Austrian perspective, Rapid are really happy to play Borac Banja Luka. Yes, Banja Luka have beaten Lask, and Austria Vienna, I think last year just got past them, but this is a much more beatable opponent than it would be Panathinaikos, who have to now face Fiorentina. In fact, Rapid are so much favored over Borac, despite not being in great form at the moment, that Rapid are the big winners of the draw so far, and we'll see they also have risen in the overall ranking of the favorites. Lugano play against Celje, Djurgårdens against Paphos. From my understanding, I would favor the seeded teams there, but you see already that Paphos is a slight favorite over Djurgårdens. And then we don't have a Polish duel, which I think the Polish teams will also be breathing a slight sigh of relief. Legia play Molde and Cercle Bruges against Białystok. Also interesting. So yeah, those are the pairings. You see that we have 5 with a very clear favorite, and the bottom 3 are rather level, which, yeah, sounds about right. I actually really like the chances over of the Polish teams for some reason. If you look at the tournament bracket, I'm actually quite relieved that UEFA's flip-flopping actually preserved the tournament bracket as I have it here. So that was a rather fortunate circumstance. We see that Chelsea will have to host always the first leg at home if they should move on against Copenhagen, and same thing is true for Betis should they move on over Vitoria, otherwise it's their opponent. Whereas Fiorentina and Rapid always have the second leg at home. But you know, in Austria there's a whole lot of talk already. Oh, this is a very favorable draw for Rapid and there is a clear path to the semi-final. Hold the horses. I mean, in Austria we said that already at the Euros when we saw a bracket. Yeah, the Turkey will be easy. We already beat the Netherlands. We're already in the semi-final where we meet probably Switzerland and not England, and then we are in the final. Austrians can be very overestimating their chances. So I think Rapid has a rather favorable bracket. Whoever they will face, they will not be outsiders. I can see a semi-final run, which would be great for the Austrian coefficient. However, I don't expect that from Rapid, honestly, because, you know, you need to beat the opponents first, and especially if they should play Djurgårdens or even Paphos. I mean, they lost to Omonia in the league phase. So yeah, as I said, hold your horses. Overall though, Rapid sit now in 4th place. Otherwise, not too many changes in the probabilities themselves. I mean, it's Chelsea, then Fiorentina, then Betis, and then the rest. I think it's between those three teams that will win the Europa League, and we already know that Chelsea will most likely romp through into the final. And if it goes by chalk, it will then be between Fiorentina and Betis, who will meet them in the final. But you know, the games still have to be played. I'm just saying, this is how it looks like, but it may definitely not turn out this way. So that concludes my recap of what happened in the Conference League and in the draw as well. Please let me know your thoughts on all this on the bottom. I didn't mention it, but the legs will be played on the 6th and the 13th of March. As I'm shooting this, we don't know yet which games will go in the early and which games go in the late slot. In any case, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like these. I'll talk to you soon about more things in my soccer universe. Bye! Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, here are some videos and playlists that you may enjoy too. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the little bell icon so you get notified whenever something happens in my soccer universe. And with that, have a wonderful day. Bye!